I would like to invite Lily Winch to the stage for the senior. She's a senior, right, Lily? Senior? We had a check last night. She's a senior. For the senior student dress.
Before I begin, I want to apologize if my voice is a little hoarse. I may have screamed Dancing Queen a little too loud last night. But, good morning, families, friends, faculty, trustees, underclassmen, and seniors. I know I've already introduced myself last night, but for those of you who may only know me by my mid to low ponytail, my name is not Jerry Who, it's Lily Winch. And by the way, I'm a senior, in case you didn't know. Standing up here today, I hate to admit it, but I'm actually quite nervous, and I've used every piece of cliche advice to make myself less anxious. From doing the Superman pose in the mirror in orderly bathrooms before this, to imagining the crowd in their underwear, which, as I look at all of you today, I would not recommend. And in another attempt to prepare, I watched Zach Schmoka's commencement speech from last year, where he continued the tradition of many past commencement speakers by growing notable facial hair. So, not wanting to be the one to break the streak, I consulted my fellow senior, Sam Black, known not only for being an academic weapon, but also for his luxurious hair and mustaches. But despite his expertise, I was obviously unable to grow one in just 4 days. But enough about me, let's talk about what this day is really about. Today is May 27th, and you are part of the graduating class of 2023, along with millions of other seniors across the country. And regardless of a few bumps in the road, like some broken chair legs and cracked gym mirrors, sorry Trent and Schifrin, and some lapses in judgment, we have successfully made it to the big day. The day you graduate from visual check-ins, in dorm times, signing in on the kiosk, Taco Tuesdays, and 8 a.m. assemblies. Although, as Ms. Vincent knows, half of us didn't really show up anyways. Some seniors have been here for 1 year, while others, like myself, have overstayed our welcome and been here for 6. And depending on what year you joined the Gould community, you've experienced many things, unique only to Gould Huskies. My fellow 6-year seniors who did winter term may recall the frigid late-night walks back from Ordway and Study Hall, back to the dorms on Park Street. People who came my freshman year were thrown right into Gould life when they embarked on orientation trips. There, friendships were born during a few sunny days and strengthened during one night of torrential downpouring. Faculty and students alike will remember the scabies scare, which unfortunately foreshadowed 2 years of Zoom classes, masks, and social distancing. Freshman boarding students specifically may remember the thrill of being out of our parents' reach. But unfortunately, most of my freshman memories are clouded over by the overwhelming scent of lavender, thanks to my roommate Nina. And I'll never forget how little freshman me was startled during my first residential rumble to see Gil Norcross leading a massive orange into Bingham as shouts of D-Block echoed around the auditorium. Incoming sophomores got to experience being in beloved cohorts and third wheeling with couples at the dining hall due to there only being 3 seats to a table. On walks around campus, students may have seen cleared plastic wrappers floating around, left over from the swab that they shoved up their nose each day for pool testing. Sophomores may have also learned at this point that a tardy unexcused could easily become a tardy excused if you just said you were chatting with Mr. Leff. Last year, as juniors, we were privy to an almost mask-free environment in normal operations. Although one exception to said normalcy occurred in my fall term when we experienced the unfortunate loss of my management teacher and Holden dorm head. As a junior class, we braved 9 days deep in the woods of Maine with no toilet paper, no showers, not nearly enough underwear, and one blessed solo day. Formal dinners, while nerve-wracking for me, as a 7th through 10th grader, became a fun place full of strange and funny traditions, such as clapping when people dropped their trays. And as for the seniors, there are more memories than I have time for, or unfortunately have been allowed to share, but I will do my best to take us on a trip down memory lane. I would say collectively as a class, we've gotten to know both Trent and his sockless feet quite well, and successfully scared him off with our incessant texts asking what time the field house opens. Though we will miss you, Trent. We have completed Mr. Z's ungodly amount of Khan Academy assignments. and woken up to his G-chats at all hours of the night, telling us who has tests to make up. We overcame senioritis, which for many of us hit junior year, and we survived potentially undercooked but well-earned burgers, grilled after a long hike on Mountain Day. Even the legend himself, Mr. Southam, decided that he couldn't miss his last chance with our senior class and returned from retirement to graciously teach AP Bio and guide us patiently through labs, Mendelian genetics, and the difference between mitosis and meiosis, which frankly I still don't understand. Tomorrow, however, you'll be heading to places all over the country, all over the world. And in 4 months' time, some of us will be heading to college. And in 4 years, as I'm sure your parents are hoping, you'll graduate from college on time, and they'll breathe a sigh of relief. Perhaps within the decade, you'll have kids, although I cannot say I want to pay for boarding school, 100 pairs of skis, and numerous stops at the IGA and school store for a suspicious amount of gummies, which I promise Mom are truly just normal gummies. But while I cannot predict the exact trajectory of your life, I'll bet my Subaru Billy, which is parked right over there, that for better or worse, you will never forget the people you've met and the things you've done here at Gould. If you do have kids, they'll groan as you tell them for the 8th time the story of a group of sophomores who hijacked the athletic trainer's cart and took it for a short spin. You'll make friends at work recounting the time you and your classmates stole all the chairs, and maybe some birds and ducks, out of every building at your school and held a wedding on the soccer field using those chairs for seating. What has happened here, the connections you've made, people you've met, and the lessons you've learned will last you a lifetime. And while I too am very thankful that we can finally delete the GChat app, I ask of all of you right now to look around to the people seated around you, to the mountains in the distance, to this beautiful campus, and to promise to remember your time here and do your best to remain in contact with the people you see, because you'll be hard-pressed to find somewhere like this. I realized this during my college search, where I was struggling to find a school that just felt right. So my parents asked me what I was looking for. And I responded, I want teachers to know me individually. I want small class sizes, a private campus, close proximity to a ski mountain. Sound familiar? That's because I was looking for Gould in every school that I visited. When I reflect on the memories and people that marked my high school experience, they felt so connected to this place, to the extent that I felt I wouldn't be able to make any more if my college wasn't Gould. Because as I mentioned before, there are millions of other students walking across the stage today, but there is no other group of people that you will have shared your high school years with. No other group has listened to Mr. Barabow's tennis speech at the Spring Sports Awards, or somehow turned Mr. Volz's problem set for physics into a group effort. Together, you have spent countless hours in the library, whether we were actually studying though, I think only Miss Baker would know. Even just within Gould, I think we are the only senior class to have relocated the college flags on the second floor of Hanscom, and to have truly pushed the limit for how many incompletes one can take. So if I could pick one thing that Gould has taught me, it would be that life is always better with friends. I apologize to my teachers and the hard work they put into me, but Mr. Z, I probably won't remember the formula for a Riemann sum. And Miss Leff, I won't remember every definition for every literary device. And Mr. Southam, I won't remember the chemical equation for the Krebs cycle. But what I will remember is that life is not meant to be lived alone. And so as I begin to close, as I begin to close, because I know we have some awards to give out, I ask again that you spend your remaining time in Bethel with friends. And to anyone who feels nervous for what the future may hold, don't be held back by your fear of leaving what's here. Instead, let it empower you to make more friends and more memories everywhere you go. And know that the connections you've made here will always be there for you. I ask again that you continue to keep in touch, despite any distance or obstacles that may try to come in the way of them. Now, before I end, I want to say some thank yous. I want to say thank you to the maintenance and housekeeping crew for keeping this place up and running smoothly. Thank you to my teachers and thank you to my teachers and staff for all your guidance and knowledge. And thank you to my Alpine coaches for getting up before it's light and returning after it's dark, just for me to lose a ski on the head wall or straddle the last gate of a slalom race. Thank you to Isaiah for trusting me with this honor of speaking today. And thank you to all of our families for being by our side. This is your final reminder. And thank you to everyone that has helped us get to this stage. And congratulations to the class of 2023.